Another week has come to an end and we get to see how our favorite movies are doing financially. This is a show that I like to call Box Office Highlight Reel, essentially the ESPN for film fans, where we break down the domestic weekend performers, how big the films are playing at a global scale, and what blockbusters have become successful and which ones have fallen flat on their faces. We have a lot to talk about, so let's tear this thing open and see what's cooking. Once again, in first place this weekend with another amazing hold is Barbie with another $53 million, dropping only 43% in its third weekend. Big news for Barbie coming up, so stay tuned for that. In second place in its debut weekend is Meg 2: The Trench with $30 million, opening on par with last week's projections. In third place in its third weekend is Oppenheimer, dropping only 38.6% for another $28.7 million. In fourth place, after being out for 5 days, is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Mutant Mayhem with $28 million. And rounding out the top 5 in only its second weekend is Haunted Mansion, dropping an insane 62.7% with only a $8.97 million haul. Who would have thought that dropping a Halloween movie in the middle of summer would be bad for business? I wonder. Now moving on to the top 10 American films of the year so far, we have some big movement. In first place still is Mario Brothers with $1.352 billion, but it might not stay there for long because crossing 10 digits is Barbie in second place, having grossed $1.031 billion so far. In third place is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 with $845 million, fourth place is Fast X with $704 million, fifth place is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse with $683 million, in sixth place is The Little Mermaid with $564 million. Entering into the top 10 list is Oppenheimer with $552 million. Moving up to 8th place is Mission Impossible 7 with $493 million. Dropping down to 9th place is Ant-Man 3 with $476 million. Dropping down to 10th place is Transformers Rise of the Beast with $433 million. And dropping out of the top 10 altogether is John Wick Chapter 4. Moving on to the profitability calculator, movie studios don't get all the revenue back. In fact, they only get 2/3 of the domestic take, and across the rest of the world, the take is only around 45%. How we calculate profitability is we combine the production budget with the advertising costs. Advertising is hard to find numbers on, so if nothing is reported, it's usually half of the production budget but not greater than $100 million. We then compare the total spend with the studio take, and the sum of this determines our ROI, which is return on investment. Just to keep my sanity and save your time, I only include movies that are passing their 45-day theatrical window and talk about the financials of the new movies just for fun. There have been no big films to cross the 45-day window this week, so let's move right into the fresh blood in the market. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Mutant Mayhem had a production budget of $70 million and a marketing spend of approximately $50 million. That takes the total spend up to $120 million. So far, the film has grossed $51.57 million worldwide, and with these numbers, I would estimate that the film needs to gross approximately $240 million plus to break even. Also new this week is Meg 2: The Trench, which had a production budget of $129 million and a marketing spend of approximately $70 million. That takes the total spend up to $199 million. So far, the film has grossed $142 million worldwide, and with these numbers, I would estimate that the film needs to gross approximately $400 million plus to break even, possibly much more if the film continues to perform predominantly overseas. Next week is looking quiet for new releases. The Last Voyage of the Demeter is projected to open very low with just $5 to $10 million. I will also be gone next week, but when I return, there will be so much to talk about on that week's highlight reel. Thanks for stopping by and checking out the video. My goal is to have an international group of film lovers that can come together and talk about their favorite niche in the whole wide world, movies. So without further ado, go down below and let me know what your thoughts are on the topic. I might not agree, but your opinion always matters, and don't let anybody tell you otherwise.